It's Michel Badeau, Talentsourcer. Welcome, Michel. I want to ask you if you can introduce Talentsourcer as an organization, as an MSP, and of course your introduction of yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. We are from Talentsourcer. We are recently entered the Dutch market, but we're not very, we're already an existing organization which is rebranded to Talentsourcer from December 2020. We are providing MSP services, but also recruitment process outsourcing to RPO services to our clients. And we're trying to combine that to get to total talent acquisition and later on to total talent management. We're a very small organization yet, but we hope to expand very rapidly soon. And we are providing services into industry, but also a lot in governmental segments and bodies. And that's meaning we have a bright spread in the Netherlands on customers currently.
Okay, and what's your role in the organization?
My role is operational manager, managing director actually, and that means that I'm responsible for all programs we're running in the Netherlands currently. And I'm not new to the MSP business. I've been working for some larger staffing companies to set up the MSP industry for them.
In the chain of organizations involved in solving the test and trace problem, it's important that every chain partner offers added value in the realization of agility. What is your view on this, and how do you deal with this as a service provider and as a client?
We think agility is a main thing we provide for our customers, and it's also necessary to cope with crisis situations as we have with the current pandemic situation across Europe, actually across the world. But let's keep it to ourselves, what we're doing. I think everybody needs to be involved and add value to the chain. That means if you're a governmental body and you're confronted with COVID, as an example, you don't necessarily have to have the knowledge about how to manage a call center, how to manage the systems involved to get feedback, and also not how to contract and find the right people to man your call centers or any other function. So I think everybody involved had their own experience, and they are combined to make this happen. And that happened in a very short time.
What was the biggest challenge for Talentsourcer in facing this Majorel case?
So it was interesting how we get the real profile defined. It's totally different than a typical call center, which you have a goal to achieve. You still have a goal to achieve, but it's a different way. Yeah, it's more a mature conversation, can go either way. Also difficult to train. So that was the interesting part, was how to get, if we ask these kind of types, people, men, women, whatever, how can you deal with that, and how does it deliver the best results? And last but not least, how can we keep those people's satisfaction as well with their job? Because if you're handling only aggressive phone calls all day, you can imagine you can't make that for 8 hours a day. So that was the challenge in the start.
Yeah, and of course it requires a lot of empathy from people, patience, but I think there are privacy issues too. So a lot of things to manage.
You need to be a good listener and tell the right story, and also trying to convince people that you're not going to harm them in either way, and the information data is safe, and that you're doing it to help us to get out of the pandemic and get to a normal situation once more. But yeah, patience and the right attitude is key.
And what do you ask of the partners in the chain after Talentsourcer? What do you require from them?
Yeah, then typically those are staffing agencies who are really used to provide vast numbers of people, but again, looking at the challenges with the profile and really determine, are people fit for doing their job? That was the challenge with them. So they are really focusing on sourcing, screening, and getting the right people in, and make sure they also stay in, because that's also very important, that we don't have to add new people every week again. That was the challenge for them. We provided also a service to them to provide the system where we do the contracting and time attendance and all kind of those things. So they add a lot of value in sourcing and screening, and we were happy that we could provide the basic structure for all of them in one system in one way.
Okay. And what does this success case mean for the future, as far as you are concerned?
Yeah, for sure. Let's hope we will stay away from any pandemic crisis again. But it shows that we are able to really step up to the plate if necessary, crisis situation or not, and we can do it quite rapidly and can reinvent the process along the way, but still keep the fundamentals in place, like all the regulations regarding how to procure, but also to pay and do things like that. So typically an MSP is a heavy implementation, not only in knowledge, but also in time. And you can drill that down if you really have a clear goal and also are able to reinvent during the process. So for us, it shows that we can rapidly deploy it and then engineer it along the way to fit for purpose.
Well, thank you for being our guest in this podcast.